When we started making the logbooks back in 2019, we just wanted to hear the stories of LGBTQ plus people all across Britain. But we didn't realise that we were actually building a community of listeners. So we wanted to say thank you for listening to us and with us. It means so much to us.
For just £4 a month on our Patreon now, that's only £1 per episode. You can get all episodes of the logbooks ad-free, and you'll also join our inner circle. So you get to hear what we're thinking about and how we're planning the episodes. You get to chat with us about what might be coming up in the episodes. And it also continues to support us such that we can keep all the main episodes on the main feed for free for everyone all the time. So just go to patreon.com/AuntNell.
Meet Finn, the single customer agent made for the entire journey. From qualifying sales leads to resolving support issues, Finn works across teams, carrying context from one conversation to the next. Learn more at Finn.ai.
Join me, Monica Reinagel, for a live taping of the Nutrition Diva podcast in Washington, D.C. On Wednesday, August 19th, we are gathering at the beautiful Friends of the National Arboretum to dive into the science of hydration. We're kicking the evening off with a sunset yoga session, followed by the live podcast recording and an open Q&A. So bring your most burning nutrition and hydration questions. Come for the yoga, come for the show, or do both. A huge thanks to our friends at Liquid IV for making this night possible and keeping us hydrated all evening long. Spots are limited. Grab yours and RSVP now at nutritiondivadc.com.
Oh, no.
Oh, I hate Lime bikes. I'm so fed up with them.
Why?
Just because they clutter the pavement and it's really hard for disabled people and blind people and older people to walk past them.
Slash anyone.
And slash anyone, exactly. Like, including me, I'm able-bodied. And they cost £1 million to borrow them. And they fall on you and you break your leg.
Yeah, they're better than cars, though, aren't they?
They are better than cars. Like, what is this, like whataboutism? Like, I think you should join me in my fight against Lime bikes.
But what would you suggest as an alternative?
Get a bike.
What if you can't afford a bike?
Santander bikes or docked ones. Get on a bus. You know, all those things.
Maybe this is a conversation for another time.
Well,
I respect your lime hate. Limes, the fruit, are one of my favourite things. Maybe that means that I've got a softer spot for the lime bike.
Well, that's the power of branding and marketing.
And I am a sucker for that. You're listening to The Logbooks.
We are Adam Zmith
and Tash Walker.
These are the stories of our lives. The stories of our limes, I could say. What's going on? What's the story?
I've been writing a new poem. It's kind of based on that idea I brought a couple of episodes ago around daylighting. Mm-hmm. So just as a reminder, daylighting is the process of bringing a river. So often in cities and in bigger towns, concrete structures or buildings are built up upon what was there originally, including rivers. And so we have all of these ghost rivers running along underneath many of the major cities. So London has 20. And the process of daylighting is breaking those concrete structures apart and allowing the river to access light again. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking about this in line with my gender identity and how it is something that I have only really been able to access a deeper understanding of later in my life, of my 40 years. And I was aligning the concrete structures of cities and things like that to the structures that the world puts on you, like male or female, or, you know, sexism and patriarchal oppression and all of these different things, the Catholic Church, Section 28, loads and loads of different things. Right. And so I started writing a river about, and so
started writing a river. Oh my god!
I started writing. I know, so sweet. I started writing a poem about it, and the poem is called Ghost River. And but what I am now doing is like moving this into something that I would love to make into an audio piece or perform in some way. with the sounds of ghost rivers underneath it. So I've become this sort of slightly strange creature who hears what sounds like a river, maybe as I'm cycling around on my bike, not a lime, London, and getting off and trying to record the sounds in the sewers of what I feel like are ghost rivers.
How do you know it's not the sewer?
Well, then lots of the ghost rivers are sewers.
It's become sewers.
Yeah, which is just another excellent metaphor for the way that humans treat this world.
Yeah.
So this is the idea. It will start off as like a really silent ghost river trickling, and then it gets louder and louder and eventually like floods the audio as the speaker realizes that they are rivered, and they always have been.
Okay,
so
they're rivered. Turn into river. It reminds me of that play by Travis Alabanza where the trans woman's in the toilet for the whole play, but the water like is slowly like it's leaking, the toilet and the sink and stuff are leaking, and then it's slowly rising.
It's like in a box, right?
Through the no, she's not like no. It was like quite low down. It was quite low down, but the water was slowly rising, and the sound of it, and that makes me want to go for a week.
Okay.
So should we have a break?
Let's have a break.
AI is transforming sales, support, and every customer interaction in between. But too often, you're sold a different AI agent for every job. That changes with Finn. Finn is a single customer agent that works across the entire customer journey. From qualifying sales leads to resolving support issues, Finn works across teams, carrying context from one conversation to the next. Meet the agent making perfect customer experiences possible at Finn.ai.
Join me, Monica Reinagel, for a live taping of the Nutrition Diva podcast in Washington, D.C. On Wednesday, August 19th, we are gathering at the beautiful Friends of the National Arboretum to dive into the science of hydration. We're kicking the evening off with a sunset yoga session, followed by the live podcast recording and an open Q&A. So bring your most burning nutrition and hydration questions. Come for the yoga, come for the show, or do both. A huge thanks to our friends at Liquid IV for making this night possible and keeping us hydrated all evening long. Spots are limited. Grab yours and RSVP now at nutritiondivadc.com.
There are moments that reveal who we are and who we're meant to become. For those born to lead, such moments call for a vehicle of equal distinction. Dynamic by design, uncompromising in execution, the Range Rover Sport was engineered for those rare individuals who demand the world and possess the conviction to claim it. When your time to lead arrives, you need a vehicle that rises to meet it. The Range Rover Sport. Exclusive offers available now. Explore further at rangerover.com.
Adam, you have recently just come back from Norwich.
I have. I went to Norwich again, one of the finest cities in the land. And there I went to see, I got a sneak preview actually of an exhibition that is now open, but just when I was recording, it wasn't yet open. And it's a retrospective exhibition of the art, work and life actually of David Shenton. And so I'll tell you a bit about him.
Who is David Shenton? I know who he is.
Yes.
But who is he?
Who is he? So he's an artist, cartoonist, knitter, radical gay, and he basically started working in the 70s. He's most famous, I think, for cartoons that he had in the gay press, in like Gay News and Capital Gay.
That's how I know his work.
Okay. And also he did cartoons to help promote Switchboard.
He did, yeah.
And so there's stuff in the Switchboard archive that we've seen there. And they're quite like witty cartoons about gay or queer life, I would say.
There's also just knowing he's a knitter as well. The way that he draws the phone cord is quite knitting. I hadn't noticed that until now.
True. Yeah. And his characters often have, like they might have like a leather harness or a woolly hat, and you can see in the detail that he's very into the tiny like little detail of those types of things. And so he basically has worked consistently since the 1970s, so like 50 years basically, making art. And he's a real character as well. So he gave me a tour of this exhibition, which was just as much an exploration of his life, actually, as it was of his work. And so...
Where was the exhibition?
It's at the Norwich Castle.
Okay.
At Norwich Castle Museum.
Okay.
And it has like an art gallery space inside of it. I think it's worth kind of listening out in the way that he talks for the wit and dynamism in the storytelling, which are a feature of the way that he talks, which you're going to hear. And that those are all features that are brought to life in the works that he's describing. And
when you say that, you mean that the work feels very alive?
Yeah, I think it does, especially the cartoons. Like it's cartoons, isn't it? And part of the texture of a cartoon is that vitality of the characters and the colours feeling like they're popping out of the page, and there's a movement to it, especially in comics, where there's a cartoon strip or a comic strip, because it's kind of sequential. So he talks quite a lot about his relationship with his dad, who was, and this is a crucial part of David's story, which you're going to hear him talk a little bit about. His dad was a sign writer for cinemas, and so he would do in the olden days in cinemas and in fruit machines and one-armed bandits in pubs, it's where they have the plastic or the glass with the painted colours on it to say what was in the cinema or what's in the fruit machine. Oh, wow. So David kind of grew up around his dad, who was painting those signs, and that's how he was painting in the early days. And so he talks a bit about that. And also his nan was a knitter, his grandma. So she taught him how to knit at a very early age. So he talks a bit about that as well, and how that all came in to the art.
Cool.
I guess the only other thing to say is that it's called Kindly Ease the Tension. That's the name of the exhibition.
Tension, like in knitting?
Yeah.
Tension in society?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Also maybe sexual as well.
Kindly ease the tension.
Yeah, it might be sexual in a sort of edging way. I don't know where the title comes from, but there's a lot of really, really great works, and he's going to, first of all, introduce himself and then walk us around the exhibition.
I'm David Shenton, and I'm 77. I was born in 1949 in Ashton-under-Lyne, Greater Manchester. It was Lancashire in those days. And my dad was the poster writer for all the cinemas. And so I had a free pass to all the pictures. So my childhood was really just going to the pictures maybe 2 or 3 times. Obviously, all the old stuff. But that was forming, life forming. I got through to grammar school but hated it, and left in the 5th year to go to the local tech, so that my dad wanted me to take over his business, but things I knew it wouldn't work.
We're just in Norwich Castle, and there's this big double door there that we're standing in front of. What does it feel like to see your name above the door there?
It makes me feel sick, actually.
Why?
Well, because it's so out there. I'm quite a quiet person.
Should we go in and have a look, and you can show me around?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. My dad he was a poster writer. We also did the jukebox sides and one-armed bandit sides and the reels that go around inside with the oranges and lemons on.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's when I must have printed that, but I also drew that for him.
Can you actually describe it to me, David, like someone who can't, who can't see it right now? What are they looking at?
It's a glass panel that fits onto the top of a one-armed bandit or a fruit machine, and it's printed in such a way that some of the colours are not permanent. Some of them you can't see through, and some of them are translucent. So the inks are different sorts of inks, and so light bulbs were behind there, and the word scramble would light up the red bit, and then the orange bit, and then the yellow bit. And so why it was called scramble is because they invented the nudge button by then, where you could actually push a button and it would move on one.
Yeah.
And my dad swore that he invented the nudge button. But I doubt that.
And it's 3 guys on motorbikes speeding off into the foreground with a factory or building behind.
It's supposed to be New York.
Ah, it's New York. Yeah.
But I would have copied that from some comic because
it looks very comic-y, yeah.
So it would have
classically comically.
I would have been, I don't know, 14 or 15 when I do that for him. And when I said, "Do I get paid?" and he said, "You should put in an invoice." Your own father's saying you should put in an invoice.
Did you?
No, I mean I didn't. I mean I just didn't work for him anymore. He said you should put in for it, but it's too late now. He added. It's fine.
Tell me about the potato wallpaper then.
Well, my dad hadn't spoken to me for something like 12 years, and that's because I had a cartoon in the press, and it was about HIV/AIDS, and I used the F-U-C-K word in it. And he said,
wait, so he was upset about F-U-C-K?
Yeah, it was me trying to explain that you needed that kind of word because everybody's got to understand how you can get HIV,
get
HIV,
how it can be transmitted.
And the government kind of hedged round it, and you just had to say that word. And so I did a cartoon about somebody saying that word, and somehow my dad got hold of that cartoon. I'm in London, he's in Manchester. I have no idea how he got that. After 15 years, and my dad was coming up to 70, so for his 70th birthday, I knew we're very similar. We got the same sense of humour, really, except anyway. And so I bought him this clock that runs off potatoes. And you need two potatoes, and one's got a zinc metal one, and one's got a bronze metal. And the difference between the chemical reactions of the potato sets off an electric current. And so he has a clock that runs on potatoes. And there's a joke that goes with that. And it is, I've got a new job, so I've got to get a potato clock. Get a potato clock, get a potato clock. No, it's a really good joke because the whole sentence is a pun on it. Is it a pun or it's the same word? Get up at 8 o'clock.
Get up at 8 o'clock.
You can't say get a potato clock and get up at a potato clock without saying the same thing.
A homonym.
Right, it's perfect. Anyway, I bought him that, and he started speaking, and I phoned my sister, "How's he getting on?" He said, "It's like Noah's Ark here with fruit and veg." And he was trying it with all things and blew it up with grapefruit. And so that's why the potatoes are there, because it's sort of like the last present I bought my father, really. Okay. So what we've got here, we've got the abseiling lesbian coming into the House of Lords up there. She's up there.
Oh, yes.
So she's
coming in from the roof.
Yes. And she's holding a Gloria Gaynor album. Yeah. And then we've got Talos. He's the first person I fell in love with, and he's a mechanical creature from Jason and the Argonauts.
Right, yeah. Those legs. Can we talk about those legs?
Well, I may have exaggerated them, I don't know. But he's guarding the jewels inside that crypt. Yeah. That's why it says, "Do not nick anything" on the side of it. And this shirt will be in the exhibition. It's a shirt with the two sleeves sewn together in the middle. So you have
you have to be together.
You have to hold hands.
It's for two people holding hands together.
Yeah. And this is Rosella, who performed at Bethnal Green and in the Joiner's Arms. Mm-hmm. Lady Gaga had just done a meat dress, so she did this drag act where she actually made herself a dress out of cling film and iceberg lettuce. Yeah. So, did you see that?
I have not seen it in real life. I've seen a picture of it, a photo, yeah. But you've now like immortalized her in ink and pen. It's amazing.
And this person,
and what an amazing huge smile that she's got, and her hair like going in all directions. I've got a tattoo that reminds me of. Look.
Oh yeah, it's joyous, isn't it?
Yeah. She's got the same energy.
Yeah, it's joyous. So that person there who's putting the triangle wreath on the on the cenotaph in Norwich Market. That's from the 70s, I think. And of course, they were not celebrating, they were commemorating people, gay people who'd been incarcerated in the war. And that triangle of flowers got chucked around the market straight away. And so that was a really brave thing to do in 1977 or something like that. So
what is going through your mind when you're working on a drawing like that?
Well, I'm stressing a point, aren't I, really? When I was... around this time, there was a group a gay group. It was a Che-related group. It was associated with Che, but we weren't allowed to call it Che, Campaign for Homosexual Equality, because we met in the Cathedral Close, so it had to be called Centre Group. It had to be something as mild as that, Centre Group. But around this time, I came, and Greg Woods, and we kind of took it over, really, and I was chair and he was the secretary. And because he was at UEA, he contacted the gay soc at university, and we amalgamated, and all of a sudden it became political, and all the things that we weren't doing at the moment were just being shown how to ice cakes and things, and then it became political, and all the old gays just called it knicker waving, but I'm quite happy to be waving knickers. And so it was the gay soc that sponsored doing this. And so they were sort of younger and not from Norwich, so they didn't really have families that might get wind of it or something. And I thought what they did was brilliant and smashing. All they were doing was just putting a wreath on the cenotaph. There were other poppies there, and they were shouting, "Why don't you put on one for Goebbels and things like that?" It really was a horrible. And that thing got flung off there, and we found it in the market, put it back, it got flung off again. And so that action of people having to come to terms with something that they know they shouldn't be doing, because they really, I don't know, deep down they think it is a terrible thing, but they must question what they're doing, surely, mustn't they? Is it just blind prejudice? I don't know. It's just blind prejudice. Anyway, the people you don't see who had behind them were a mixture of all lesbian and gays at the time, and it was a solemn occasion. So I thought that moment is really a kind of turning point of some kind of what was going on politically for gays and lesbians and gays in Norwich at that time.
And that's why
I've included it.
That's why you've included it in the exhibition, and why you put pen to paper.
Yeah.
Should we keep going round?
Yeah, sure. I'm not old.
I know, and this one.
These are lovely clothes.
Is it the vents? Yeah.
That's why you can't put these on here, because they're only aluminium apparently. So So I got that, and I got this, joined the 1987 My Little Pony Club. So I was written to by the editor. No, I wasn't written to by the editor. I was written to from the Queen of the Ponies.
Okay. Yes,
and the Queen of the Ponies wrote to me and saying, "Would you consider being in drawing for us?" And then there's a phone number. So I had to ring this number. And I said, "Can I speak to Queen of the Ponies?" And this bloke went, "Speak." Speaking. Anyway, I decided not to join and not to draw. But so I got a consolation prize. What are these called?
Petite ponies.
I got this through
a petite pony, and it's there in a little silver plastic wallet. A little pink darling with a yellow. Yeah,
you can comb its tail. I think. I don't think. See, that's when you're a cartoonist. I mean, we could show you. I got chatted up by a male stripper.
Tell me about it. What happened?
Well, I did this joke. He was called Troy Passion. And I did this really weedy joke in capital gay about pouring a bottle of milk over his head because the lady loves milk, Troy. So anyway, I got this letter. Thank you very much for letting me enter the world of your comics.
It was a bit of a surprise, but the wording was flattering. And there's this really hunky picture of him with wet look hair, and he's got his shirt off, and he's showing off his clavicles.
That's right, and he's got this kind of Statue of Liberty, no dip in the top of your nose sort of thing, isn't it? You know, that's really classic.
Hey, look here, it would be a great pleasure to have a drink with you, David, and I promise you more than a glass of milk, with passion, Troy.
I didn't go. So
what was it like going through all of your stuff and picking it for the exhibition and handing it over?
Well, it's really weird because I know it all, so I've done it all, so I know it all. I mean, some things I've forgotten, obviously, and some things I won't want to remember, but it's actually seeing other people see it. So it's that curve from one thing, you know, from me through that, and then you see other people, and you know, and they pick up different things that they like, and you just think, why don't I like that one? and the people, you know, the museum staff have actually told my story in a way that I wouldn't have told it myself, really. And so you're reading these, and it just, I know it's based on, I know it is me they're talking about, but you just think, oh yeah, okay. It is a mortifying, but it's also very, very, I don't know, I feel so fortunate and so blessed. Everybody should have a retrospective, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the second room now, and hanging from the ceiling is probably the biggest jumper I've ever seen.
Yeah, we don't know. Is it 13 foot across? Yeah.
13 foot. Did you knit the whole thing?
No, I didn't knit the whole thing. We were going to share it, and then it was for Sheringham Museum. They wanted to be more inclusive. Their collection didn't have anything like that, and so the Sheringham Museum is famous for its ganzes, which is a fishing jumper. And the top half of the jumper has got a kind of, you can see there's a crisscross pattern on there.
Yeah.
But each of the families in Sheringham would have a different kind of crisscross pattern to recognise that jumper, who you are.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be, I think it may be a myth that if the body is dragged out of the sea, you could recognise from the jumper.
That's bleak, isn't it?
And I think the jumper would have got eaten first.
But this one's got the progress flag knitted into it. It's got a pink triangle. It's got an intersex symbol. It's got a labris.
Yes, we just went, and there's more on the back, of course.
Yeah, let's have a look.
And so I just collected all the flags, and people were saying, well, I don't know what that flag is. And I said, well, we don't have to know what that flag is, but the person who knows what that flag is so happy that that flag is included.
Oh, yeah, we've got more flags on the back now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we enjoyed it. And so the person who finishes off is Lisa Little, who's the curator of Sheringham Museum. And she was supposed to be sharing that knitting out with every other people, because there's a lot of knitters in Sheringham. Yeah. But I think she did the whole lot. Okay. And she actually made a big head for it and turned it into a giant, and it was on wheels, so they could wheel it through the town of Sheringham. But then it didn't work because the streets of Sheringham are mostly cobblestone, and so it didn't work that. But we got in touch with the Norwich Puppet Theatre, and they kind of thought a big stick puppet, but it would be far too heavy. You couldn't do it really.
What does knitting offer you as an artist that other forms don't?
Well, it's kind of the beginning of my defiant life, really, because, I knitted when my grandma taught me to knit when I was 8, and I could knit a decent jumper when I was 8 or 9, and I found this doll at my grandma's house that turned out to be my dad's old sailor doll. So she gave it to me, and I knitted it a load of clothes, and I showed it to my dad, who was delighted to see his doll again, but then was horrified to see that his son had been knitting it clothes, and so he threw it on the fire. And so that I pulled it out. So Sammy, he's called. He's going to be in this exhibition, and he's got a burnt arm. But so that was a kind of when you found out that it's something that you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing because you're the wrong gender, but But my grandma was telling me about all the sailors that knit in the Orkneys and all that, and so you just think, yes, but there's no excuse. I mean, there's no comeback when you say to your father, but he said, oh, she tried that trick on me, so. And so I just knitted then, and I went to art school, and I've always knitted, so I knitted on buses and knitted on the tube, and now I run the men's knitting group here in Norwich, and it's open to everybody who identifies as he, him, and it's a really lovely mixed group of all different people. And there's a chief of police who comes, who is a retired chief of police, and everybody gets on so well. It's just a big. They don't want to learn to knit; they just come for a gossip, really. I keep saying, "Shall I teach you how to read a pattern?" No, you're all right, Dave. No, you're all right. But that happens once a month in the central library. We're in the middle of all the books. We're not hiding in a room somewhere.
What is going on above these pieces?
That is Justin Fashanu.
Mural.
We're very proud of Justin Fashanu. He played for Norwich, and that must be 40 years ago, I suppose, now, mustn't it? And he scored the best goal against Liverpool. And so he's always commemorated because he's still, I don't know how many now, but he's still really probably the most famous queer footballer. Mm-hmm. And he came out all those years ago, and then he kind of pilloried really for it because, and so what I've done here, I knitted a scarf to commemorate him, and this is the commentary of that golden goal.
Okay, can you read it for me?
Well, this is a smaller version on the scarf. It was going to be a scarf, but this is a kind of smaller version and it says Bond to Downs to Paddon to Downs to Bond to Ryan to Fashanu. Oh, what a magnificent goal! And so the scarf is about, arm's length scarf. It was just a scarf like that. But then the River End boys, there it is, there's a scarf. The River End boys said, would you mind if we turn that scarf into a 20-metre banner? And I said, well, just let me think about it. So it will fill all this wall here. So it's going to
completely fill that huge wall,
but
20 metres long.
When we did take it into the stand, because there's photographs, it was on Match of the Day and everything. We were all stood behind. It was only held up in the half time for about 20 minutes. And all these people behind us going, pull that bloody thing down, because they couldn't see the pitch. For 20 minutes, you just think, come on. Listening to all these people moan. But that's what we're kind of used to, isn't it, really? You try something and you just hear the people moaning. Which you can't see. This one is on loan from Queer Britain.
I've seen that in Queer Britain, yeah.
And they brought it back for it. And this is the story of equal marriage, but based from my story. We sort of saw it through from start to finish. From the first thing we did to become a couple was to get a Tesco club card, and then went on all the way through to folk. A lot of gays don't only go as far as civil partnership because they don't want to emulate straights, and so they stop there. But I think it's important to actually do the whole thing, so there's more people who are sort of married, and it carries more weight. I mean, you do have to be responsible when people get ill and die because you're now a married couple. And whereas if you're civil partnership, you can still just keep your own finances and things like that. So there is a cut-off there for some people. Yeah. And I just drew that story, and then I sewed it into that quilt which you've seen in Queer Britain. Yeah.
What do you want people who come to the exhibition to go away feeling?
I want them to be aware that we're still here and we're still being targeted.
Who's we?
The LGBT community. When I first became, first gay, it was just just gay, because everybody was so pleased to be recognised as gay, and I don't think the L word wasn't attached until like 1980 or something like that. But now the community is so fabulously wide, isn't it? Really, you just talk to people, and sometimes you feel out of your depth, but you never feel afraid or challenged or anything. And I love that so much.
Yeah.
And also, I want them to go away and get on with a bit of drawing or a bit of something that you don't get off your screens, just that. And so we're trying to wake up everybody to the fact that you've got so much potential, and that you can get so much done in one lifetime. That's enough, shouldn't be enough, shouldn't it, really? And keep everything, don't chuck anything away, perhaps.
Thanks so much for giving that introduction to the interview that you did with David. I think I was thinking a lot about his dad being a sign maker throughout a lot of that, especially the stuff that he was saying about his dad throwing the doll in the fire, and now that being part of the exhibition. I love that.
Yeah, with the dodgy arm.
With the dodgy arm, that it's still included because it's obviously like a really pivotal point in David's life, which then of course influences not only him but his work. But I was thinking about a sign maker being someone who is controlling communication. It's like such a key thing around communication, and David obviously is like his dad struggled to communicate with him in ways that were based around words, and instead did really like violent acts instead, like throwing his doll into the fire. And yet David's gone on to be a cartoonist, which is such a big point around communication. So I hadn't made that connection before. So yeah, that's really interesting. And then of course the whole thing around Justin Fashanu and that scarf reminded me of the exhibition that we went to see recently at Queer Britain, which has got a whole focus point on Justin Fashanu. So if anyone wants to learn more about him and his legacy, then do head down to Queer Britain, as well as Norwich Castle as well. But yeah, thanks, Adam.
What we could do is put a video of some of the artworks on our Instagram, on Aunt Nell's Instagram. So we'll do, and on our own Instagrams as well. So we'll do that. They've sent me some clips, the people behind the exhibition, who I should also name, which is Ian, Giles and Ruth Battersby, who are the co-curators of the exhibition. Ian Giles is his own artist with his own creative practice, and Ruth works at the Norwich Castle as a curator. So they've both worked together to curate it. So they've sent me some video clips that we can make into a video and put on Instagram, so then you can watch that as well.
Great. And also, if you know of any queer exhibitions or things happening at museums near you across the UK, we love doing these little episodes where we sort of take you into the exhibition. We've done a couple now: Queer Britain, Hastings, Bradford, and then also Norwich, this one with David Shenton. So do let us know. We'd love to come and make an episode about it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for David and Ruth, and also Adam Baker, who helped to set up that
Always
interview.
Shout out Adam.
Yeah, so Queer Norfolk. So yeah, thanks a lot. It was really lovely to meet David and spend that time with him. And he's a riot. Isn't he? Well, I guess that's it for another episode of The Logbook.
That's it.
Yes. Subscribe to our Patreon, subscribe to us on YouTube and our newsletter and all of that stuff. And we will see you next week.
Yeah.
The Logbooks is an Aunt Nell production.
It is hosted and produced by Tash Walker and Adam Zmith.
The assistant producer is Mia Campbell. Music from Soundstripe.
Original artwork by Natalie Doto.
With thanks to the dreamboats at Acast.
Join me, Monica Reinagel, for a live taping of the Nutrition Diva podcast in Washington, D.C. On Wednesday, August 19th, we are gathering at the beautiful Friends of the National Arboretum to dive into the science of hydration. We're kicking the evening off with a sunset yoga session, followed by the live podcast recording and an open Q&A. So bring your most burning nutrition and hydration questions. Come for the yoga, come for the show, or do both. A huge thanks to our friends at Liquid IV for making this night possible and keeping us hydrated all evening long. Spots are limited. Grab yours and RSVP now at nutritiondivadc.com.
There are moments that reveal who we are and who we're meant to become. For those born to lead, such moments call for a vehicle of equal distinction. Dynamic by design, uncompromising in execution, the Range Rover Sport was engineered for those rare individuals who demand the world and possess the conviction to claim it. When your time to lead arrives, you need a vehicle that rises to meet it. The Range Rover Sport. Exclusive offers available now. Explore further at rangerover.com.
Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. That's why a State Farm agent is there to help you choose a coverage option that's right for you. Whether you're getting a new house, car, boat, or RV, helping protect it is important. And State Farm is there to help you choose the coverage you need. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app. And with so many coverage options, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. So you can continue to focus on what's most important to you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.